What up? It's your boy Dick Incredible, and this is Found episode 8. And oh my gosh, Sir wants to be kidnapped? Let's talk about it.
Headed out for change, I just started on my quest. Yeah, the world will know my name, I'm excited, I'm obsessed. No one in my way but myself and a test. Yeah, I will be the best, yeah, I will be the best. Life is just a game, I'll be playing till I rest. I'll be there to claim my own spot among the best.
Before we dive into the episode, I wanted to give you guys an Easter egg, aka a little information nugget, if you will. This episode was directed by Chad Lowe, aka Rob Lowe's brother in real life and on the show 911 Lone Star, which was just nice in my opinion, because I love both shows. But I digress. Let's talk about Found episode 8. Now, this episode, yet again, right on the heels of episode 7, and I know I'm late, man. Thanksgiving came around and I had to catch up on some other stuff, but I'm here now. But great episode. Like I said, picked up right on the heels of episode 7, and we're dealing with the fallout and the aftermath of Sir being spotted at Gabby's house. Now, after watching the entire episode, I don't see how that's the case. Like, that makes no sense. Sir didn't escape. He was still chained up. He was asleep. Like, we honestly don't know what happened and why was there even like an alert or anything like that, or anything newsworthy relating to Sir being spotted around Gabby's house or in the vicinity, when that's not the case. Something's going on. Now, I don't know what. There's a lot of stuff we're learning in this episode, if I'm being real. But we also learned that he was following Gabby well after she had escaped. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just stalking her. A lot of stuff went down this episode, bro. I'm telling you, man. Still a great episode. The overall concept with the missing person and the homeless encampment people, or the not homeless, unhoused people, you know, but to be fair, before we dive into that, you guys know I don't knock the show because I love it, and like them highlighting a lot of real life personal issues is very wonderful. I think that's something they handle very well, and they don't hit you over the head with it yet again. But I haven't seen a lot of homeless people, but the few that I have seen, you know, they are well, unhoused people. They are a little bit more dirtier, so to speak. These were some of the cleanest unhoused people I've ever seen in my life. That's just one nitpick I had about this episode. You know, not to, you know, knock those people or anything, because, you know, you never really know what someone's going through. And the chick Mac, this episode, that was asking the team to find her boyfriend or whatnot, she was a nurse. Like, we saw that throughout the episode, that she used to be a nurse. You know, situations happen and people just end up in bad situations and they end up unhoused and stuff. But just one nitpick, if I had to complain, man, like, they were the cleanest unhoused people I've ever seen in my life. I mean, boy, they look good. I'm just being honest. But like I said, I loved it. The show highlights certain things that you normally don't really get in certain other shows or whatnot, and they don't hit you over the head with it. They give you the information, they let you run with it, they let you take it in, and I'm not mad at that. And going forward with this episode about the whole unhoused situation in the encampment, we see that one particular person is missing, and that's the person we were asked to find by Mac. Samson. His name was Samson. So, you know, we have Mac asking the team to find Samson for her because Samson's missing, but he has this whole problem with November 9th being a very special day to him, and she thinks he's going to commit suicide for real this time, because he said it a bunch of other times before, but this time he seemed so serious about it. And the show highlighting the unhoused and the whole serious aspect about it, the whole mental structure, I really enjoyed that aspect of this episode. We also saw that the mental structure kind of played very well into our MCs this episode as well. But with them highlighting the unhoused, they also highlighted that someone was portraying an unhoused person to take advantage of people in the group, like sexually assault them. And I'm like, you telling me that you made it your business to wake up one morning, or however many days you done it, because we know that he assaulted one young girl in the encampment and he went after Mac. But you made it your business to wake up, put on clothes, rip them, dirty yourself a little bit, go to an unhoused encampment, and assault someone. For what freaking purpose? And I mean, I'm glad that they caught him, and one reason is because I love Don so much, man. I love everybody, but Don just elevates it for me, man. Because like when um Trent's partner came and was like, she was there helping him because Trent's situation is trying to help Gabby right now. But when dude was like, I don't want you to say nothing because when I find him, I'm gonna beat him. And I was like, you do so good, Don. Beat the brakes off him till he can't walk straight, can't think straight. He deserved to be beat. And long story short, in that particular incident, we see that they went there to obtain information about Samson, but they found him as well, and they had the young girl kind of testify. So dude's gonna be locked up and he's going to jail, and that wrapped that nice up in a pretty little bow, and we could all applaud that. But the overall situation is because Samson felt like that because the dude attacked Mac, and him and Samson kind of got in the fight, and Samson kind of walked away from the fight, but it was still messing with him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the mental structure about it. And what I loved, because when everybody's dealing with all this stuff with Gabby and Lacey about Sir and stuff, and they're worried about them, we also have a lot of stuff that's going on with our team. And everybody kind of mentions that I had a moment to where after my particular situation, I thought about killing myself. And the fact that all of them gotten help, all of them, everybody got the help that they needed, and they are in better places. They're not completely better, but they're in better places. And everybody kind of just went through the place that they would do it if they had to. It was somewhere memorable, something that they had a wonderful memory from. And when it got to Don was like, no, because we know a little bit more about Don's story, and we know how it affects him, and we see how him being alone, he can't really cope well with it. And like I said, everybody's doing a little bit better, but Don didn't weigh in on that part of this conversation, and I don't want to say I wanted to see it, but I wanted to at least hear a part of it, but I understand why he didn't weigh in, because I'm pretty sure everybody probably had a couple moments where they thought about it, but Don probably thinks about it a lot. But to see the growth in his character over these 8 episodes is still a wonderful transition for him, so I'm not mad at that. But the episode itself, after we deal with the unhoused and everything, and at the end of the episode, we find Samson, and Don talks him down, and he gives him his cart back. Now, the episode really kicked off with the Gabby and Sir stuff, bro. It had me on the edge of my seat. I was over here, It was just that good. Now, I say the best for last, of course, anyway. Now, we know that Gabby was flipping out, man, and then Trent came over to her house, so she hadn't really had a chance to really just check on Sir and everything, because she was terrified a little bit as well. But, long story short, she went to check on Sir. She finds out that he's fine, and he was like, I wouldn't escape Gabriella. This man I don't think he likes being chained up, but he likes being there with Gabby, because in his weird, twisted, demented mind, he thinks they still have some kind of weird connection. And like I said in my previous reviews about it, of course they have some semblance of a connection, but I was starting to, I don't know, I don't want to say I agree with him or understand where he's coming from, but I was starting to what's the word? Like him caring about Gabriella when she was up there and she was crying and being, just a little tormented about the other kid, I think in 6 or 5 or something like that. And when she was crying and breaking stuff, and he wanted to go comfort her and stuff. Like, so we know he has some semblance of normalcy when it comes to Gabby anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like he has she has some kind of hold over him, you know what I'm saying? But after realizing that this fool, like he doesn't mind being held hostage, like he's okay with being in captivity by Gabby, because in his mind he loves her. And the fact that when she wanted his help with his case and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then Lacey came over to her house, he was like, well, who is that? And she told, you shut up, you don't say a word, because she's super protective of Lacey, you know what I'm saying? And like he was like, well, who is that? Like, if you don't tell me what I want to hear, I will scream and let them know that I'm down here. Now you can't even sort of kind of agree with him, or get on his side. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he was helping her with the cases, you could kind of let your guard down a little bit. Kind of, maybe you can see something just a little bit. But now when he's threatening Gabby like this and forcing her to say that she loves him, Oh my gosh, like you could tell how hard that broke her, but it also was her playing a role because she didn't want Lacey to know that he was down there, you know what I'm saying? Or to really give him the satisfaction. Like it was like a twofer, you know what I'm saying? She had to really play into that part so she could get what she wanted out of it. And then we learned that she drugged the cereal, the oatmeal, or whatever it was. She drugged him and then put him to sleep. But then right there at the ending of the episode, when he realizes that that was Lacey upstairs, aka Bella, and like he told Gabby that if she ever decides, because Gabby was at the point where she was fed up. You like whatever happens to me happens, because at this point now I'm willing to turn you in, let them arrest you and put you under the jail. I don't care anymore. But when he threatened Lacey, aka Bella, that shifted for Gabby, and I feel like for us as well. Like no matter how we felt about Sir, you know what I'm saying, with him being chained up or anything like that, you know, the roles flipped or whatnot. It was like, okay, well, justice is served, and he's helping Gabby with all these cases. I can understand it a little bit, but when he threatened Lacey, that changed everything, man. Especially in Gabby, but for us as well. Because now we don't fool with Sir. We don't rock with Sir no more. You know what I'm saying? At all. We are done with this dude. It doesn't matter if he helps on every case. It doesn't matter. Because now he's threatening Gabby with Lacey. You know what I'm saying? So like if she doesn't do whatever he wants or let him stay captive for some reason, or you know, he's gonna threaten whenever he does escape or get out, he's gonna go after Lacey. So now Gabby has no choice but to keep them chained up and I guess play by his rules now. Even though he is the one that's, you know, chained or locked in the basement or whatnot, now Gabby has to play by his rules. Like I said, there was a lot of information with this episode, bruh, and seeing the flashbacks with Gabby and the kitten and her setting the kitten free because it doesn't belong to us. The episode was a banger, bruh, and I'm so ready for episode 9. I'm dropping that early. That's a promise. This is your brother Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe. Peace out.
Cause I've been working a lot. I think I deserve a shot. I think I deserve a spot. Cause it's been years on this path that I walked. And if I keep going, I pray I'll be at the top.